It's the final countdown. This is the last Playmaker betting football show of the season. Me and Garrett have been here since day 12. But we've been giving you winners for a while. This is our last show of the football season. It's the last game. It's a Super Bowl. Prop heavy. Garrett, we made it, dude. It's the end of the season, man. Congratulations.
I know, man. Congrats to us. Congrats to everybody that, has been riding the waves with us. It's been a roller coaster ride, but we've been making money throughout the entire year. Hate to see it go, though, unfortunately.
We appreciate everybody watching and participating. And even if you hate on us, whatever. If you don't like our picks, totally fine. You are, just as well as we do. We're nobody special. We look at lines, we look at stats and all that kind of stuff. We're just here to provide some entertainment, give you some information, and that's what we're here for, right?
Absolutely, bro.
Last week of the season, last game, we have the Super Bowl. But before we get into Super Bowl stuff, we should probably talk about the best football player to ever play the game, especially from the quarterback position, Tom Brady. How much did his ass cheek sand sell for?
I don't know, man.
700?
Something crazy like that, bro. Like close to $1 million. Easy.
I think it was like I think it was up like almost $100,000, and I think it went down to like $700.
Oh, really? But like, who went over there? Just like scooped up a little bit of a sand and were like, "I'm gonna sell this shit." And
somebody knew it. They knew like exactly where he was. They're like, "Oh, I'm in St. Pete or I'm in Tampa." And I know exactly where he's at. I'm gonna scoop up this sand and sell it for ass cheek money.
Bro, that's something else. And people will take that shit and they'll frame it and be like, some ass cheek sand from the GOAT himself.
People are weirdos, dude.
Edward Brady. Bro, it's crazy, but like people will do that though.
People are super weird. Oh, I'm just retweeting. Sorry, I just wanted to retweet our live stream. 216 people. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love everybody's showing us and for hanging out. Check out personal pages and Playmaker for all of our prop betting, all of our side bets, all that other kind of good stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on, right, Garrett?
Absolutely. But before we get into picks, I want to know what's your favorite dish that you're going to be chomping on this weekend for Super Bowl.
Sorry, I was just tweeting this out. My favorite dish is a something I don't know if a lot of people have had it before, but is a barrel aged bourbon. That's it. I'm drinking whiskey. Whiskey.
It's gonna be drinking whiskey all night.
No, dude, I'm heavy into appetizers, dude. Like the best part of a wedding, anytime I go to a wedding, best part is a cocktail hour. I love the apps, the finger foods, the shrimp, the mushrooms, any kind of little finger foods. Appetizers, all about the apps, dude. I will take apps over an entree any day of the week. All about it. So anytime you got dips, chip, all those little finger foods, I'm all about that. So I'll fill up a little bit on it. What I want to do is get a good base. So I'll have a cocktail. I'll probably have 3 cocktails before kickoff because I'm watching it with a bunch of Eagles fans. Like I'm watching it with my wife and her family, all Eagles fans. So I'm super excited. Like it means a lot to them. It's I've watched one Super Bowl of my life where it meant something to everybody. When the Bears were in the Super Bowl in 2007, I watched it with people who were invested. Like this is our team. This is exciting. So since then, this is going to be the first time I'm watching it. Nobody watches it with like a Patriots fan unless you're in Boston or whatever. So I'll be watching with Eagles fans. So I'm very excited for that. So I'll probably have my plan. Like I probably have 3 cocktails before kickoff, right? Be feeling loosey goosey. Make sure all my bets are locked in. Do a little round. Probably do a roundabout on the appetizers. Get the bread, get the artichoke dip, nachos, shrimp, scampi, whatever it is. And then just pretty much keep it light. Keep it light. Keep it to like fish and some chips and dips, and then it's pretty much heavy alcohol and gambling.
It's pretty much heavy alcohol and gambling. That's the way to go, though. That's really the way to go. I'll have my IPAs on deck. Obviously, got to hit a Total Wine over here. Get my IPAs, and then
Samesies, dude. Tonewood. Brewery of South Jersey. But yeah, tell me what you're feasting on.
Well, obviously finger foods, but then I make potato skins from scratch. So I'm ready to get into that,
Okay.
carving out my potatoes, making them nice and cheesy with the bacon and chopped it up and sour cream.
Damn.
Yo, bro. It's my favorite.
All right. So are you hosting then, or you're hosting then, or what?
Oh, I'm hosting myself and my family here. No, and I got no one to come over, so it's just me eating all this food, this
You, the wife, and the
meal.
kids.
Yep, that's it. And I'm just cooking
Gotcha.
for me and the kids and the wife. And just enjoy. They'll enjoy the commercials while I'll enjoy the game.
Keep
Pretty
it
much how it
simple.
is.
Keep
Yeah,
it
bro.
simple.
Just get fat and drink and enjoy the bets that we're gonna be placing, enjoy the money that we're gonna be making, enjoy the last game of the season.
Bro, it's very important to be in an environment that is conducive to how you want to watch the game. I went to a Super Bowl party last year. Don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but my cousin-in-laws, like, they were flipping up and back between golf, and I'm just like, what are we doing, dude? Why are we flipping up and back? Leave the fucking game on and shut the fuck up during the game and talk during the commercials. And everyone's like, oh, the Bengals have the ball. I'm like, what happened? Why are they on the 30-yard line? So I want to be in an environment that's conducive to watching the game and being serious, dude. So That's why I'm happy. I'm with the Eagles fans. They're going to be into it. So it'll be a good environment to be watching this game. Obviously, look at my fucking shirt, dude. Look at my hat. Look at my background. We're all fucking Philly nowadays, dude.
Yep.
Ingratiated myself the last year. So let's fucking ride.
Even though you're not in Philly right now, you're in that, that South Jersey phase going on over there. But
I am 19 minutes away from the stadium. I went into Philly today for a doctor's appointment. 19 minutes away. Okay. But yes.
So you're basically Philly.
I'm basically Philly.
Right over the bridge. You're right.
Shout out to Brandon. Brandon, thanks for the like on Facebook. Appreciate my man, CEO, leader of our fearless brand, Playmaker. Thank you, my man. Hope we make you proud. Let's get into the last game of the NFL season. Garrett. Let's give a shout out first. To our friends at PointsBet, because we don't want to upset anybody over at PointsBet. Guys, there's a QR code down there. All you got to do is scan it, and you get a claim up to $2,000 in free bets. It's very simple. Use the code Playmaker. It's my favorite book of choice, and it's not because they're a friend of the show, but they're giving out lightning bets. They're giving out a same game parlays. So if you are going to bet this Super Bowl, you need to sign up for PointsBet because they hook it up. So that being said, Garrett, can I give out my MVP, my value MVP pick?
I want to hear it.
All right, let me get this out of the way first. I'm operating value MVP pick. Hassan Reddick plus 3,500. Okay. Now, I know this is a value pick. 3,500 is a very steep. It's a long shot, right? In the last 9 seasons, there have been 2 defensive players who have won the MVP. Okay. Last 9 seasons, there's 2. So that's 22%. I'm not a mathematician, but that's not bad, right? Okay. So since 2008, Patrick Mahomes has the highest QBR, most passing touchdowns in the NFL against the blitz. Don't blitz the Chiefs because Mahomes finds success. That's fine. Eagles don't blitz a lot, right? They rank 17th in the NFL in blitz. So they don't blitz a ton. They have success with a 4-man front, so they don't need to blitz. They have 60 sacks and 180 times they've contacted the QB with a 4-man front. Since 2020, Mahomes, when he's contacted more than 10 times a game, he's 9-7 and has a 62% completion percentage. So not very good. Very mid. Okay. We all saw what Hassan Reddick did to the 49ers. Okay. He took out Brock Purdy, ended his Cinderella season, right? They also took out another quarterback. And that's something that, can we talk about that real quick, Garrett? That's when people saying, you took out Brock Purdy. We didn't have our quarterback, blah, blah, blah. Can we talk about what happened there? Okay. You had a backup tight end blocking the guy who has the second most sacks in the NFL. Okay, so as a coach, you're dumb. You're dumb. Okay, you're scheming your offense, and you have the guy on the end who has the second most sacks in the NFL, and you have a backup tight end trying to block him. He blows through, blows out the UCL of your quarterback. Okay, we saw what happened. Then Josh Johnson comes in. They wreck him too. Bro, your job is to protect the quarterback. As a coach, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. So I don't care when they're saying, oh, you knocked down our quarterback. We didn't have a quarterback. But why did it happen? It happened because you didn't block properly. You didn't block the best defensive line in the NFL. You did it wrong. That's a coaching mistake. So that's your fault. And not only did they knock out one, they knocked out two quarterbacks. Yep. So I don't care what you have to say, like, oh, they're we knocked out two quarterbacks. So I mean, even if you had one in there, it doesn't matter. So Super Bowl 50, Von Miller was the MVP. He had 6 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 1 pass defended. Hassan Reddick, the last 2 playoff games, 8 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. Hassan Reddick this season tied for the second most sacks, tied for first most forced fumbles. So if it's going to go to defensive player, because I can also see it going like this. I can see Jalen Hurts throwing for 213 yards, maybe a rushing touchdown, giving Kenny Gainwell's got 2 touchdowns or Miles Sanders got 2 touchdowns. But the big defensive play comes from Hassan Reddick. So I'm not saying he's going to win MVP, but I'm saying the value at 3,500 on Hassan Reddick from a guy who has the second most sacks and the first most forced fumbles in the NFL, that's good value. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not. Especially at plus 3,500. You said 2 out of the last 9. I mean, right then and there, you give yourself a 22% chance, right, of that possibly happening. And at plus 3,500, that's basically saying there's no way that's happening. Whereas, the percentages over the last nine Super Bowls are telling you have a little bit better of a chance than that plus 3,500. And like you said, if it's going to be a defensive player, it's definitely going to be Hassan Reddick.
There's nobody on the Chiefs defense that's going to win it, right? So if you believe the Chiefs are going to...
Chris Jones is the only one. And that's and he would have to be wreaking havoc against the Eagles offensive front, which is pretty damn fucking good. And that's not really going to happen.
Who was it? I saw a statistic today, and I'm so pissed off that I'm blanking right now. But one of the interior linemen for the Eagles has more sacks than Chris Jones. Fudging A. I can't bring it up. One of the interior linemen has more sacks than Chris Jones when he's lining up on the interior of the D-line than Chris Jones does. So that's right there.
No, I believe it on that. Like I said, if anybody, any defensive player, Chiefs, Eagles, I think Hassan Reddick is definitely the guy. Like I said,
if it's going to be a defensive player, it's going to be him.
Yeah.
Bottom line. So that's where the value is. That's why I'm saying that's your value pick, 3,500. Garrett, come on. Give me something good, man.
Well, to piggyback off of that, because of how good Hassan Reddick and the Eagles defense has been playing, I'm looking to take Pat Mahomes to throw an interception, which is right now at minus 122. Well, you look at Pat Mahomes. Normally, he's been doing great, right? He's been doing great things throughout the entire playoffs.
You would think, yeah.
Right. He hasn't thrown an interception in his last 3 games. Well, he has not thrown an interception in 4 straight games dating back to 2020. So that means he's not thrown an interception in 4 consecutive games dating back all the way to 2020. And also, Mahomes in his 2 previous Super Bowls has thrown 4 interceptions, 2 in each game. So I thoroughly expect him to get through this with at least 1 interception thrown. We know how well the Eagles have been pressuring the quarterback, and I expect that to be more of the same here. Eagles have great pass defense. They're one of the tops in the league, I believe, in takeaways and interceptions as well. I'm expecting more of that here. I mean, Mahomes just to throw 1 interception at minus 122, where I think he's going to have to sling this ball around as much as humanly possible.
Garrett, say that again, though. You said Pat Mahomes in his last 2 Super Bowls. Give that stat for the interception. His last 2 Super Bowls.
Yes, his last 2 Super Bowls, he has thrown 4 interceptions, 2 in each of those games.
Last 2 Super Bowls, he's thrown 2 interceptions in each game.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
And then you also said he hasn't gone a 4 games stretch without throwing a pick. Is that correct?
That's correct. That is
Since
correct. Right now he's 3 straight. So he's trying to go 4 straight without a pick, and that hasn't happened since October of 2020.
I like it. I think we'll get into game plan and kind of how the game's going to get played out. But I do think you pressure Mahomes, he makes mistakes. Ipso facto, Super Bowl when they play the Bucs, right?
Yep.
Saw what happened. The Bucs got to him, scrambling around, makes mistakes, forces something because he's a playmaker, right? That's going to happen. No pun intended. Playmaker. But you make mistakes, right? You get pressured and he forces stuff, and especially against a defense like this, and we'll get into those stats later, but exactly.
And also he doesn't have a Tyreek Hill to bail him out this go around.
Sure.
So I don't expect him to just, run around and just chuck the ball up and there's a Tyreek Hill being able to catch the ball from him. Juju Smith-Schuster is not Tyreek Hill. Kelsey can't stretch the defense as well as Tyreek Hill either. So I think one of those errant passes is definitely going to be picked off.
Yeah, you don't have a 5'3" dwarf just like hanging out in the middle behind a linebacker that you can get the ball to and make something happen, right?
Right. Exactly, man. Exactly.
Oh, guys. FTN, guys. Everybody asks us. We say it every week. Garrett, Pete, you guys are so handsome. You're so adorable. You're smart, you're intelligent, educated. Where do you guys get this information? And we tell you every time, guys, all this stuff that we find is on FTN Bets. So all you got to do is scan that QR code, go to ftnbets.com/free. You get 3 free day trial, and you get all this information, breakdowns, linebackers, quarterbacks, who's giving up touchdowns, how many yards, all that kind of stuff. So it's a free 3-day trial. Give it a try. If you like it, keep it. If not, no sweat off your back. But ftnbets.com/free. And all you got to do is scan that QR code. Super simple. Garrett, can you confirm?
I can. Best tools out there. Betting calculator, parlay calculator. It's the way to do it.
Get simply all the best. Better than all the rest. Speaking of props, Garrett, can I give you my favorite prop? My favorite legit prop of the Super Bowl.
Okay, I want to hear it. I want to hear one of your crazy props too, but let's hear this one first.
Oh, I already made my watch is picking up all this stuff. All right, this is a regular prop, okay?
All right.
AJ Brown over 70.5 receiving yards, okay? So the normal prop. So AJ Brown over 70.5 receiving yards. You think, oh, that's a lot of yards, right? AJ Brown has eclipsed this number 9 times this season. Okay. He has 5 100-yard games this season, which is the 4th most in Eagles history. He's having one of the best seasons as a wide receiver for the Eagles ever. Having one of the best seasons as a wide receiver for the Eagles. Okay. He's the only one in the league that has 1,200 yards and 16 yards per catch. Nobody else has that. Okay. Wow. Last 2 playoff games, he's had 14 targets. So you can chop that up, 7 targets a game. It didn't go out like that. It was like 6 and 8, but 14 targets over the last 2 playoff games. Yards are coming, dude. When you're getting targeted that much, you're going to get yards, especially when you're averaging over 16 yards a game. Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell are going to gash you. They're going to gash you, right? Eagles have one of the best rushing. They have the best rushing offense in the NFL, okay? So if you don't scheme against that, you're going to get blown out, okay? Kenny Gainwell and Miles Sanders are prolific. They're going to gash you up. So you need to game plan against that, or else they're going to just gash you up. So if you don't commit to it, you're going to get screwed, which will inevitably open up passes down the field for AJ Brown, like we've seen time and time again. Stat to know. Chiefs have allowed the second most touchdowns to opposing wide receivers this season. Second most touchdowns to opposing wide receivers. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are going to be guarded by two rookie cornerbacks. I know Snead is coming back, apparently. I didn't know what the whole story was about that, but they have not Wookiees, we're not Star Wars, two rookie DBs lining up at Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. Good fucking luck, dude. Good luck in the Super Bowl. You give up the second most touchdowns to wide receivers in the NFL. Have a good day. A.J. Brown over 70.5 receiving yards. Tell me I'm wrong. Give me a reason why it wouldn't hit, besides saying in the last two games he hasn't gotten over 30 yards. That's the only argument.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's got to hit, right? I mean, between him and Devonta Smith, those are the two that are going to be eating up all the target share, especially on the outside. They should be getting one-on-one coverage. I don't expect them to be bracketing either one of those two, and they should be able to torch that defense, especially. And I really like the anytime, for both of them.
How about too that A.J. Brown gets butthurt if he doesn't get the ball? I mean, I think we saw like 3 games. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 games ago. He had over 100 yards during the game. He had over 100 yards, and he was on the sideline. He was throwing a fit. Nick Sirianni went over and like petted his head. Didn't like that, and he was like, "I want the ball regardless." He's like, "I gotta have 1,000 yards, and I want 1,010." Because that's just how he is. Dude, you're going to tell me in the biggest game of his life, he's not going to garner the ball and say, like, give me the fucking ball, Jalen. And I think the run game is what's going to open it up. Kenny Gainwell, they're going to pound. Last game that they played against the Niners, their last 19 plays, 18 or 19 plays were all run plays. And I understand they're up and all that stuff, but they still drove down the field and they scored. They ran 19 run plays and they scored 10 points, a touchdown and a field goal. So I understand, defense is depleted, whatever. I don't really care because that run game, RPOs, Jalen's going to take off. You got 2 great running backs. That's going to open up that one-on-one coverage against rookie DBs. Boo!
I like it.
You're getting targeted 7 targets in a game. I just see it happening.
A.J. Brown also to anytime touchdown score, plus 120. Devonta Smith
plus money.
Yeah, plus 165 and Devonta Smith as well for a anytime touchdown score. And I really like Kenneth Gainwell anytime touchdown score, plus 360.
Bro, his MVP is sneaky frisky too, dude.
What is it?
Let me just pull this up here.
Plus 1,900 or something like that?
I made a graphic on it earlier. 12,500. So there's an MGM better. He put $2,500 for Kenny Gainwell to have an MVP. It pays out $312,500.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah. So, but you think about it like this, like if you're going to think who's going to win the game, Isaiah Pacheco, I mean, he could easily be an MVP. If you think the Chiefs are going to win the game and he gets 2 touchdowns and 80 yards, maybe Mahomes throws a pick or 2, like you mentioned. It could go to a running back like that. But then also, too, I mean, Eagles are favored, dude. They're favored for a reason. They're the better team. They're more healthy. They have a better O-line. You can argue a lot of stuff. So if you're going to think that, I mean, it's just a sneaky good pick if you like Kenny Gainwell.
Right. And then if you also talk about the favorite, right? The favorite's been smacking in these Super Bowls over, since the inception of the Super Bowl, right? They're 36-20 straight up.
36-20. Okay.
Straight up. That. Right. And the Super Bowl winners are covering 47-7-2 as well coming into this game. 47 wins, 7 losses, and 2 draws on the cover against the spread.
So the winner is going to cover. That's what you're saying.
Pretty much. Favorites are 27-2 against the spread overall. But the Super Bowl winner is, if they win, they're more than likely covering the spread. Granted, the spread is so low. It's only at 1.5. Right. Majority of the time, you're going to cover that. But, even if they were like a 3-point spread, they're still saying that probably the favorite's probably going to cover if they do win. Or whoever wins is probably going to cover the spread. So, yeah.
So you might as well just take the cover as opposed to the money line.
Yeah, I
didn't
agree. You're eating too much juice on on the side anyways. You might as well just eat a little bit of that vig and get at minus 110 or minus 107 if you're on points bet.
All right, Garrett. I gave you my prop. What do you got next? I know you got a total. Let's do your total before we get into the game.
All
Now
right.
we see the game going out. So give me your total.
I like the under 50.5 here. I really do.
50 is a
Yeah.
high number too.
It is because the totals of 50 or more in the Super Bowl in the last 13 times that the total has been 50 or more, it's 3-9-1. It's only gone over 3 times, 30% or a little less than 30%. And the over under in the last 10 years has been 5-5. Chiefs in their Super Bowl are 0-3 on the over under, and the Eagles in the Super Bowl are 1-2 on the over under as well. So 1-5 in those games between the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl over under. So yeah, I'm going with the trends here, guys. I'm taking the trend, and the trend is telling me it's staying under the total. And I expect the Eagles defense to be able to hold the Chiefs offense in check. I mean, they've been holding offenses in the playoffs to only 7 points in the last 2 games. And the Chiefs defense has been playing moderately well in the playoffs as well, holding their opponents under 20 points per game as well. So I'm expecting a more defensive game than everybody thinks. Everybody's seeing the prediction 37-34
Yeah,
win
you want
for
points.
because it's going to be people think it's going to be a high scoring game, but then you look at last year's game, it was 23-20. Everybody thought it was going to be more high scoring as well because Burrow and the Bengals were killing it, and so was Cooper Kupp and and Matt Stafford. They were lighting it up too, and then they come in and they throw more of a stinker. It was not a very exciting game. I don't expect this game to be very exciting as some people do. I mean, it's going to be a good game. And it's going to be closely fought back and forth, but I don't expect them to just go out there and light it up, especially the Eagles. They really don't want to do that. They don't want to get into a shootout with the Chiefs. If they do that, they're probably going to lose. They want to be able to maintain control of the ball, maintain time of possession, and I think that's going to eat away at that 50.5 mark.
That's going to bring me into my game script. The game script got leaked to me, guys. Eagles are winning. Money line. Eagles money line. It already got leaked to me. So they already told me. And like you mentioned, Garrett, they don't want Mahomes on the field, right? So how do you do that? You run the ball. But can you run the ball if you don't have a good running team? No. Well, the Eagles do have a good running team, dude. They have the number 1 rushing team. Let's look at the stats here. Number 1 rushing team in yards per game. 208 rushing yards per game. What? The next best team, the Ravens, at 155. That's over 50 yards more on the ground the Eagles have per game than anybody else. They rocket past anybody else, dude, as far as the rushing game goes, because you got a quarterback that can run. You have Kenny Gainwell and Miles Sanders, 2 running backs that can run. You can put someone else in motion. So this run game, they put drives together like 7 minutes long. So that's how they keep teams at bay here. You keep the other offense off the field and you grind it down with the run game. That's how championships are won, and that's how I see this game being played out. Is leaning on that run game, and you got 2 good running backs, and you have a quarterback who's mobile as well. Number 1 rushing team in the NFL, 208 yards per game. Number 1. Second team will be the Ravens at 155, so 50 yards more than that. Okay, so that's one area of how they're going to win this game, right? Let's look at defense. Defensive leaders, yards allowed per game on the defense. Eagles, number 1, ranked number 1, 195 yards per game. Their opponents ranked, okay? That's number 1 in the NFL. Okay, number 2 is going to be the Ravens behind that at 234.
Wow.
Eagles have a great defense. Number 1, defensive leaders. Let's look at sacks. Number 1 in sacks in the NFL. What else do we have here? Turnover differential. Number 2 in turnover differential. Like you mentioned, there'll be a pick. There'll be a fumble recovery. We talked about Hassan Reddick. Fumbles, fumble recoveries. Defense stacked. Offense stacked. Running game stacked. This is why the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. So that's how I see it being played. They're going to lean on the run game, and that's going to open up those passing lanes like we talked about, that one-on-one coverage with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. All those things are going to open up, and that's why the Eagles are going to win. So that's how I see it. That's how I see it happening. Look for a lot of rushing yards, too. There's going to be a lot of rushing yards. They're going to keep Mahomes off the field. They're going to put together 7-minute drives, 65-plus yards down the field, 7 minutes long, and score the football. I'm sorry, not score the football. It sounds dumb, but you get it, right?
I get it, and I totally agree with you. We also forget that the Chiefs were, they were good this year, right? Very good. They were terrible against the spread throughout the entire season. There's not been many teams that have been so bad against the spread and make the Super Bowl. I think this is only the 4th team in Super Bowl history that have gone as bad as they have done, so all season long against the spread and actually make the Super Bowl and win and possibly win. They would be one of the only ones to win with such a bad against the spread record. But and they've also been very mediocre throughout their season, right? When has the Eagles at full strength looked mediocre?
When they didn't have Jalen Hurts. That's it.
Right.
When they didn't have Jalen Hurts.
When they weren't at full strength. Eagles at full strength have never looked mediocre, ever. Chiefs at full strength have looked mediocre. They lost to the Colts this year. Right. I mean, just point blank right there. Eagles will never lose. They have not lost to a really bad team at full strength.
So you're riding with Eagles money line as well.
I'm taking them on. I'll lead the points. I mean, if they're winning, they're covering that spread. They are. There's only a 1.5 point spread right now. They're covering that spread. I'll eat the line right there. I'll lay it out there. I don't expect it to be a 1 point game. Like I said, favorites 36-20 overall, straight up. They're 47-7-2 as well when they cover. I mean, come on. I think it's a no-brainer here. I mean, I don't expect Mahomes to pull this win out of his ass. I just don't expect it to happen. Eagles, I think, are just too well-rounded, and Mahomes is going to have to do way too much to get the job done here, and I don't expect him to do it.
They're a favorite for a reason, right?
Right.
I mean, they're a favorite.
Right.
It's a neutral playing field, healthy quarterbacks. They're the favorite, okay? And I think people forget what happened when the Bucs played the Chiefs. Do you remember that Super Bowl?
Yep.
It wasn't competitive. It wasn't competitive.
No, that
Patrick
was boring.
Mahomes running around, 30 yards in the backfield, running around.
Yeah.
He's falling over, sidearm, makes a cool sidearm pass as he's falling over. That's great. They caught it. They still fucking lost. Doesn't matter. So I think this defense really shows up, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a contest going into the fourth quarter. I'll be honest with you.
Just a straight up blowout.
I'm not saying a blowout. I'm saying they could be up by 7, could be up by 10 in the fourth quarter, and the Eagles run the ball and just kind of close it out. I don't know if it's going to be that close. I'll be honest with you, dude. I think this defense really does put pressure on Mahomes, and like you said, he's going to make mistakes, and Broad Street's going to burn, dude. These Philly people are going to go nuts.
Yeah,
and they're going to grease the poles, and it's going to be good. So last time,
good.
Yeah. But
until all hell breaks loose.
Last time Philly was in the Super Bowl, they were underdogs as well. They had a backup quarterback in Nick Foles playing, right? Nobody gave them any respect. They fucking beat Tom Brady, dude. So when Philly is an underdog, that's a bad spot for you, dude. That's a bad spot. When Philly is an underdog, that's a bad spot. Because they were an underdog in that Super Bowl against Brady. Right. They got a backup quarterback. Like, I know you can talk about different teams and all that kind of stuff, but just as a team and a city or whatever, bad spot when they're an underdog, dude. Like, this city thrives on being the underdog. And that's one thing I've noticed from moving here is everybody hates Philly. Everybody hates Philly fans. They hate Eagles fans. They hate Phillies fans. all this stuff, dude, like all this stuff that I got, I just moved here last year. Like I assimilated to the culture. Like I tell you, like I haven't been a Phillies fan since, I've been a little kid. I'm Chicago, born and raised, that's why I got a Sheffield shuffler. I'm in Chicago. I was Chicago forever. But now I lived here. I pay my taxes here. This is where my future is. I'm going to raise my child here. So now we're Philly. This is my family. This is how it works now. But them as an underdog, dude, bad news, dude. Don't do it.
Well, they're a favorite in this spot.
Sure, but I'm saying, but look at all the media and everybody saying, do they get any respect?
No.
How many teams have you heard say they've had an easy road to the Super Bowl? I've never heard that from any other team that says they've had an easy road to the Super Bowl. I've heard that from so many people talking about the Eagles. They haven't faced anybody. They have an easy schedule. They had an easy road to the Super Bowl. They didn't have to play a quarterback in the 49ers. Yeah, because they knocked out the quarterback of the 49ers. Like,
yeah,
I've never heard so many people talk about the easy road. This is the NFL, dude. There's a movie called Any Given Sunday because any team can win. These are professional teams on the field. So when you're not giving the Eagles respect, I mean, I don't take it like personal, but I'm just like, bro, this team's a fucking unit, dude. Like on all sides of the ball, this team's a unit. So I don't understand where the shit talking is and people saying that they're undeserving and they haven't been tested. Okay, so is this the test? This is their only test all year out of, they've won 14 games. They lost 3. 3 of those were without their starting quarterback. They haven't been tested all year. It's just ridiculous to me, if I'm being honest. Does that make sense or no?
No, it definitely does. I mean, like I said, people just hate on the Eagles. It's just the way it is. They did the same thing when they made the Super Bowl, the last time. No one thought that they would win. No one thought they would do well. And no one thought they would even make it there. I mean, Granted, they beat my Vikings, and I wanted my Vikings to win. But, I was a little salty. But, they did well, man. I mean, and here they are again, just, later down the road. And I'm expecting the same outcome, really. I really do. Good defense. They always have good defense, and their offense has been electric all season long. So,
I'm with you, my man. That's all I got for today.
That's all I got too, bro. We're in it. We're in it to win it, right? In it to win it.
It's our last episode, Garrett.
I know. I'm very upset.
Last episode for the season. Thank you guys for watching. Everybody that participates and comments and talk shit. Even if you talk shit, we appreciate it just because engagement's good. I mean, we're not claiming that we know everything, but we just bring statistics and information and try to entertain you a little bit and give a little bit of an edge if you don't want to do the research. So we appreciate it, everybody. Guys, Garrett, hopefully we'll be back next season with the Playmaker Football Betting Show.
I will be here. Hopefully.
Guys, make sure you watch Garrett. If you guys are into UFC, Garrett, let everybody know where they can follow you for UFC information.
Yeah, guys, you can follow me, Fight Analyst LLC on Twitter, the Fight Analyst LLC on Instagram, and the Fight Analyst on TikTok, the Fight Analyst on Facebook. You just put in the Fight Analyst, I'll pop up everywhere. I am the one and the only Fight Analyst, so follow me everywhere.
You got it. All right, guys. Appreciate it. We'll catch you next season. Thanks for watching.